Tonight's guest on the Putting You Over podcast has competed on WWE Monday Night Raw and has been a featured star in NXT as a member of the Hit Row. Would you all please welcome U.S. Army vet, Tahuti Miles!
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey, what's
up?
That
was a great intro.
That is.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's from our guy Ryan Romano. We met him on the show once. He was in chat, and then we hooked up on Twitter. And he wants to do announcing for wrestling, and I was like, dude, you can do intros for all our guests, and we'll play them, and
Yeah, tell him great job. Seriously,
I sure will.
I enjoyed that.
Hey, man, thanks for joining us tonight.
Of course. Glad to be here.
What would you be doing if you weren't here?
Probably watching the last episode of Stranger Things.
Oh, oh man, it's so good. I have three daughters. I have three daughters. 13, 9, and 5. Well, they're the 13 and 9-year-old all into it. So the 13-year-old, she's on my travel softball team. So she's the catcher. So we had all the pitchers come over, and we binged watched the entire thing first day. So it was 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They loved it. It was great. Watched the whole thing. I can't wait for part 2. So you have the last episode, huh? It's
yes.
Yeah. Are you enjoying it?
Don't tell me no spoilers.
I won't. I'm good at that. I'm good. But are you enjoying what you have going on right now?
Yeah. You mean as far as Stranger Things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll get to that wrestling stuff or whatever. We'll get to all that.
The
Stranger Things.
No, I love it. I feel like everything, pretty much everything Netflix puts out is good. So yeah, I'm loving it.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff for sure. Yeah, so I can't. We'll have to talk about it again after you watch that final episode. It's an hour 40, I think.
Yeah, it's on hour 40 minutes. I was like, oh, this is like watching a movie.
Exactly. And then I heard that because there's part 2 is 2 episodes, but they're two movies basically. That's what I've heard.
Okay, I guess I'll find out. Find out.
You'll find out. But part 2 comes out in July or something. Anyway.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
So you have one episode. You have one episode left. That'll be the end of part 1, and then they'll pump out part 2 in July. They know what they're doing. They put it out on Memorial Day. They'll put it out on July 4th weekend. They know what they're doing. That Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, enough Stranger Things. First of all, speaking of Memorial Day, thank you, for your service. As we heard Ryan Romano say, a vet. So much love there. My dad was a vet. My wife works for the VA. It's all good stuff there. So thank you, sir.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So you went through boot camp. You walked on to football at University of Maryland. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
That is fucking insane. How does boot camp and training for football, and I think you're a martial artist, or you did all that growing up. Did that make this transition into wrestling easy or smooth?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because I think professional wrestling is its own art in itself that you have to learn and everything. But it helps in the sense of athleticism, athletic stuff and everything. But yeah, professional wrestling is a whole different thing. It's some people don't even, a lot of people going to professional wrestling have a lot of backgrounds and stuff.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that, that's going to make professional wrestling easier, but it definitely can help. I feel like it helped for me. So, but yeah, also along with, I've also been, performing in front of crowds since I was a kid, 8 years old or something like that. So
what type of stuff? What were you doing?
So my mom is the director of her own African dance company, and so I would dance and drum as a kid in front of hundreds of people.
Wow!
Almost every weekend. Yeah, there was even one year where she turned it into a play. So with African dance and everything, so it was really cool. So I kind of get that entertainment aspect from her.
Yeah, and talent that takes a lot of talent. Turn that stuff into a play. Wow. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So walking out in front of a NXT Takeover crowd, nothing for you.
I mean, I haven't really got to experience a takeover crowd, to be honest.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, COVID messed that up. But I would say before COVID, so my first ever match on WWE was actually before I got signed, or not. I was signed, but before I started NXT. So it was the Raw before Mania. I think in 2019. Yeah, Raw before Mania in 2019. I had a handicap match against Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw. And that was probably like in front of like 15,000 people. So that was even though they didn't know who I was enough, but it was like the atmosphere was amazing. I was like, oh yeah, I love this.
So that was before you signed. So Monday, that's about April. You signed in August of 2019.
No, so I had actually, I can't remember when I signed, but I had signed. I think I was when I did that match the week before Mania. I was already signed, but I didn't report until August. So I was already signed, but then I started in August of
gotcha.
20. Yeah.
Were you a wrestling fan growing up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching it since I was a kid. Well, one of my cousins used to live with me, and he was a huge wrestling fan, and he's the one that actually introduced me to it. Me and my brother, he started watching like Raw and SmackDown with us, and we fell in love with it. And I was like, oh, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I know what I want to do.
Just like that. Nice.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Boom. Well, we've talked to a lot of people, and we've gotten all sorts of different answers. We got some people that said, I never even watched it, was not a fan. And then others that were like, the first time I saw insert wrestler here, they knew it. That was what they wanted to do. So I've seen both sides of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes, trying to figure out where I want to go. I write them down in bullet point form, but never technically follow them at all. Oh, I know what I definitely wanted to talk about. Down at the PC / NXT, I suppose. Very influential person for you, Velveteen Dream.
Right.
What resonates the most from him? Like, how was he influential for you?
So, when I started wrestling in 2017, I went to get training at MCW up in Baltimore, and that's where he had previously came from and whatnot. And he would randomly show up sometimes to help out with wrestling and stuff. And when I met him and everything, I mean, so when I had met him, I had just started watching NXT, and to be honest, this is like no shade against anybody else. It's just my opinion. To be honest, when I first started watching NXT, he was the only one that's interesting to me.
Yeah, he sure was.
And then he came into MCW. I was like, I gotta learn from him, like, you know. So I went out of my way to like be like, hey, like I'm like, I really am into this, and I really want to get good at this. You know, like, you got any advice for me, like, or can you help me out and stuff? And he went out of his way, to help me out, and he's been helping me with wrestling since then. Like, yeah, like huge inspiration. Because like he's one of the people that told me, about it's not about the wrestling. The wrestling is like last and stuff. It's about the character, and how you connect with the crowd and stuff. So like I really took that into heart, and everything. And also he's a ring general. Like
Yeah.
if anybody knows what that is.
Yeah.
But like he's a ring general. Like and that always inspired me to be a ring general. I wanted to do that too. So I went out of my way to get good at that as well. So he just inspired me in so many different ways, like with wrestling. And I've only been wrestling what now? I think August will be 5 years. And to be honest, I feel like I've been doing it for like 15. So
Nice.
Just I know a lot of people. I've been around a lot of people, and I'm not saying any names, but like they were like, yeah, I've got 15, 20 years of experience. But then you get in the ring with them, you're like, okay, But like I always what Velveteen always told me is like it's not about the quantity of experience, it's about quality of experience. And so I always believed in that. And so yeah. If any new wrestlers listen to this, and what I'm saying, like, yeah, it's about quality. Not quantity.
I heard you talk about Velveteen on another podcast. I think it was the Angle podcast. I think that was the name of it. And I was like, oh man, that's just great shit. And he's right. Velveteen's right. It's not anybody, but a lot of people can go out, ace that, WWE tryout, hit all the moves, look spectacular doing it, but might not have the character and might not know how to cultivate that character. And I think he's 100% right on that. And, hopefully we can see him again sometime soon. I would like to, but that's a whole other show, I suppose. Anyways, MCW, trainers down there. Gosh, let me think. Dean.
Yep, he was one of them.
Rest in peace to Bruiser, RJ, I believe,
and Bruiser, RJ, yep.
Joey Mercury.
Yep.
Tell me what Joey Mercury means to you.
Let me see. Like, so before I met Velveteen, Joey was in my ear, and he's one of the first ones that told me about the right way to do professional wrestling and everything. He's all about the entertainment and like the just doing things the right way. First of all, I want to say he is extremely intelligent as a human being, but extremely intelligent when it comes to professional wrestling. And it's just he's like a mastermind. It's wild. That's the reason why he was a producer in WWE and produced WrestleMania matches and stuff. So,
sure.
But yeah, he's like similar to Velveteen. Like he taught me the right way to do things. And he's worked with all the greats like Eddie Guerrero and Ray. He's worked with all the greats, and just that accumulation of knowledge that he can give somebody else. And so I honestly I would say with everything that I know, obviously I learned the basics from like Dean and RJ and stuff like that, but then like the real work I learned from Joey and Velveteen. You know what I'm saying? So with them, teaching me and in my head and stuff like that, and a bunch of calls and texts and stuff like that, I feel like I was able to get really good at this stuff, within a couple of years of doing it, which I was always told when I first started, like, oh, it's going to take you like 5 years to get good at it, and I'm like, I'm not even at 5 years yet. So,
you got skill, you got the confidence, you got the good people to lean on, get advice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, they're not the only ones. There's a lot of people that have helped me along the way and stuff. So, shout out Mark Henry and everything. Shout out Edge. A lot of people helped me out and stuff. So, I appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hit makers, then into Hit Row, and now back with the Hit makers. We have now completed the trilogy here on Putting You Over, because we've had AJ and we've had Brianna, and now we had to get Tahuti. So we've hit all three here. What is it about you three that like you guys gel. Like you're a well-oiled machine, entertaining, refreshing. One of the things I loved about Hit Row and just love Hit Makers when I saw you guys over WrestleMania weekend is it's refreshing. Like to me, that's what the WWE was looking for. I don't understand it, but what is it about you three that has you jelly? Your chemistry is just off the charts.
Well, I know they probably told you we're one of one. Mm-hmm. We're one of one. There's nothing like us. Nobody can do what we can do. Like that's a fact. Yep. I know they probably said the same thing.
They did.
I would say another thing is we get it. Like we can wrestle, and I know. Like I've seen some stuff. I don't really pay attention to social media. I don't really care. But I know I've seen some stuff like, oh, but they can't wrestle or whatever. You're out of your mind. Let's just say that. And then, but the thing is, we get it. Like we get what professional wrestling is. Like we're entertainers. And the thing is about the three of us is that, yeah, we don't have 15, 20 years experience, as I was saying, before. Like, we've all been wrestling around the same amount of time. But the thing is that we bring to the table that's different from a lot of people or a lot of groups and stuff like that is that we have experiences in life in a lot of different ways. Like we've all done, a bunch of stuff. Yeah. All three of us have done a bunch of stuff outside of professional wrestling. We have a lot of experiences, a lot of things that we can bring to professional wrestling. Because honestly, you can do anything in professional wrestling. Yeah. Let's be honest. So we just bring a lot of our individual experiences together into a group. And we're all three of us are very similar as well, actually. Yeah. So I mean, me and Brianna are practically twins. I mean, she was born one day before me, and just the connection level that we have, I can't even explain it. It's just like you just have to be around us and just be like, dude, these there's something like seriously. It's just I can't even explain it.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah, we just get it, And me and AJ have, similar, some of the similar backgrounds. We're playing football and stuff. We both played at University of Maryland. No, I did not play with AJ. I was in the military when he was at University of Maryland, and then we went to NFL is when I got into University of Maryland. So, but we ended up like before I even got signed and stuff. I ended up linking up with AJ a couple times, and I remember I went to the takeover in Brooklyn where Velveteen wore the Call Me Up Vince.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And actually he brought us backstage and everything for that too. But then I remember leaving and I saw AJ and I was like, yo AJ, which is crazy because we didn't know that we were going to be like in a group together in WWE. And then also with Brianna, like I said, we're twins. Brianna was in my first tryout. Me and Brianna were in the same tryout together. And then we also got signed the same exact time and started at the same exact time as well.
Yeah.
So it's a small world.
Yeah.
And then when we so like Brianna and AJ are music, like they're artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? They actually rap and stuff. It's like they're legit. Like for real, they're legit. Like I don't know if y'all heard the music. You need to go check out their music. For real, they're legit. Like especially our new song, it's a hit.
The one you guys debuted on WrestleMania weekend. You guys debuted at that one. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hot.
But yeah, so like, how was I going? So when we were in WWE, I was in the same class as Brianna and stuff like that, and then AJ. I think AJ came like a year later or something like that. And I remember it coming up as like, oh, do you want to be in this group, this hip hop group or whatever? And I think AJ, I think he wanted like Leo Rush or something at first, and I don't know something, but like ended up being me, AJ, and Brianna in this group, and we're we can do whatever. We can do everything. We can do everything. Let's just say that we can do everything. So so Brianna and AJ would rap and I would produce and stuff for this group we called the Hitmakers, and we actually presented. I think we actually presented Hit Row, but we called it the Hitmakers.
Right.
To Triple H, I want to say like March 2020, and we actually, when we presented it to him, we actually had like 5 vignettes and a music video that we filmed ourselves.
Wow.
And presented it to him. Yes, like legit.
Like, here it is,
yeah.
ready to roll out.
Like we do our own work,
right.
know. And then Triple H was like, oh, "This is really good." But so they wanted to try it out, in the PC and stuff. So we ended up doing that for a little bit, and as I was on 205 Live as we were trying that stuff out in the PC, and then I started doing some stuff with Swerve on NXT, and then ended up going back to 205 Live, and then next thing you know, they were like, "Hey," Triple H was like, "Hey, what do you guys think about Swerve in the group?" And we were like, "That can work." Yeah. Swerve raps, you know what I'm saying? Like, that could definitely work. And Swerve is really good in the ring.
Yeah.
Extremely talented. So like, yeah, like, okay. And so, we all got together, and it just ended up just meshing, just ended up gelling. And I can't really explain it. It's just like, we just get it. We all have a lot of experiences and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was a great pairing of all of you together, and it worked. And it's shocking to me, and like, we don't have to dwell on the releases because it really doesn't matter here nor there. It is what it is. But it's shocking to me that you guys were so polished, so over, and just could work in the ring and on the mics, and then they bring you up, and I don't know, did they underestimate you guys? Did they take you for granted? I don't know, right? I don't know.
I have no answer. I have no answer for that. I don't know.
When that unfortunate news comes, Bree, the core, I think you've said it on other shows, the core of the group. I think AJ has said it. When that comes, and then you find out, because of budget cuts, you're let go. I have to think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, like, do you lose your motivation for wrestling, or your passion, or does that just light a fire under you?
I would say both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say both. I can tell you that I was disappointed and angry and stuff like that. But I'm the type of person that, I my mindset's like, all right, it is what it is, and I gotta move forward, and I gotta do what's next, because I still have dreams and aspirations and stuff, and I have goals, and I know what I want to do and stuff. So, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
I was just wondering if like, you lost your passion to be to chase the dream of wrestling, or if it just lit a fire under you. And you said it was a little bit of both, and you said you were disappointed at first, and that's goes without saying, I believe.
Yeah, I would say recently it has. I guess I've lost a little motivation recently. I haven't wrestled very much since I've been released. So, and yeah, I guess it has, but I still have desire for wrestling, and I always have, and I feel like I always will. I didn't get to do nearly, what I thought I would in WWE. Not that I wanted to be a champion or anything like that, which, that's on the booking, but like,
right.
Like, there's just so many things I want to do, so many people I want to wrestle and stuff. And, so yeah, I still think about that. I'm like, I still can do this. I still can wrestle. I'm still good at it, well, everything, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I have lost, motivation, and just like, cause like, I felt like like I said, it's just confusing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. I probably said the same thing in the other podcasts and stuff, and I don't know why. This budget cuts is what I was told too. So I don't know. A lot of people have asked this, and I really don't know. But yeah, it's like I would love to wrestle. I just it's just hard. I guess now
it's frustrating because, and it's frustrating to me, which means it's 10 times for you, because to me, we didn't get Hit Row versus New Day. We didn't get Hit Row versus the Bloodline. We didn't get Hit Row versus the fucking Street Profits, which would be insane. We didn't get that. All that's left on the table. And I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah. Hey, man, they always say the door's always open. So,
yeah.
I wouldn't say that you would never get that. You might, we'll see. I have no idea, but you can still get that one day. I would like to do that.
Nice.
But yeah, the reality of it is like, that's what happened. We got released and stuff, and I just gotta, focus on what I gotta do for me and stuff, and that's all I can do.
And you said you have you got your passion for wrestling. You still want to do it. You still can do it, and you can do it. But you got other avenues too, right? I mean, acting, I believe, music.
Yeah.
How are those avenues panning out? How's the acting going?
Yeah, no, it's going good. I actually get a lot of auditions. But it's like kind of like diving into a new world. That I have to learn, and I'm still learning and stuff. And it's going well. I was just in a music video, about a month and a half ago, something like that. And I've done some. I've been on some other sets and stuff like that. It's just like starting over though.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is, because I have my experiences and stuff, and I also have I don't know if this even helps, but I also have my degree in theater as well. So my bachelor's degree in theater, even though I think film and theater is different, but but yeah, no, it's going well. I can't complain at all. I'm actually diving into like a little bit of everything. I'm starting like a business and stuff, and just doing what I can. About wrestling. Don't worry, my phone went off a couple minutes ago. So.
Something just beeped. We're still here. We're still live. It's all good.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. Yeah, I just feel like I feel like I have a lot of skills that I can use, and I would like to use them. Like I can do, stunts and stuff like that. I feel like I can act. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, so like acting's always been on the same level as wrestling for me. I've ever like even actually to be honest, since I was a kid, acting was a passion of mine before I got introduced to wrestling.
Yeah.
So I've always been, into like movies and, and stuff like that. And like my family will be like, oh, who like every actor is. And I know like lines for movies and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, like I'm into it like that.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's actually been a passion of mine longer than wrestling. But I do feel like there's still a lot I can do with wrestling, and I feel like I'm good at wrestling now. So,
what was it? Oh, we'll have to. We've had Danny Limelight on here a few times, talk about his wrestling, but also he acts, he writes, he produces movies. We'll have to make that connection, Vanessa. We'll have to hook Tahuti up with Danny.
I would like to write as well.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
Yeah, I would like to write as well. I got some ideas.
Yeah.
Sure. But I want to be in front of the camera first. So.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, Tahuti, we're nearing the end of the show. First of all, I just want to say I hope that I get the hit row hit makers somewhere because they're hot and I want to see it. But if I can get him versus Enzo and Kaz somewhere, it would be great as well. So I'll just leave it.
If you can get it booked, man.
If I can that's what I need to do. Book my own show.
Exactly.
Right. But we're at the end of the show, and what I do at the end of every show with the guests is I'm going to give you the mic now. You can put over anything you want. You can say anything you want. You could bury anyone you want. It doesn't really matter to me. I am not going to interrupt. The floor is yours.
Well, I do want to say Hitmakers has a show at the Sausage Castle Wrestling, July 3rd. Check out my story on Instagram. It's at Tahuti Miles, at TEHUTIMILES. Check that out. It's going to be a party after too. Make sure you're 21 plus if you want to party. Yeah, and if you haven't been to Sausage Castle, it's definitely a wild place, and it's a place you need to check out, for real. But yeah, like other than that, that's it. You know, I set my social media,
Yeah,
so
we've got the links up. Got the links up and everything.
Cool.
Spectacular. Yeah. Tahuti, you've been a pleasure to have on. Easy to talk to. Nothing but the best for you down the line.
Thank you.
No matter what you do.
Yeah.
No matter what. Thank you for your service, and have a great night.
Thank you, too.
Peace.
Thank you.
Great stuff. See ya.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, we're live. All right. Have a good night.
Cool. See ya.